So we are now going to start with this topic, that is dividing a given quantity into a certain ratio. For example, let's see there are two friends, and friend A and friend B have invested some money, and they invested the money in starting a business, and the investments were in the ratio 3:7. Now after 1 year, when they calculated, they realized that they have earned a profit of ₹1,000. The investments were in the ratio 3:7. They earned a profit of ₹1,000, and they agreed that they will distribute this profit in the same ratio as their investment. So the one who invested more will get more profit. The one who invested less will get less profit. And based on this, they will distribute the profit. We are given the task to find out the individual amounts or individual shares of this profit. How can we do that? There are two methods. Method one is called as unitary method. The word unitary comes out from the word unit. So we'll first find the value of 1 unit and then we'll distribute. How? We are saying that the profit for A and the profit for B are in the ratio 3:7, because it was agreed that the profits will be in the same ratio as the investment. Now we'll say that this is 3 units and this will be 7 units. So we'll find out the value of 1 unit. How many total units are there? So we'll say total units is equal to 3 plus 7, that is equal to 10. So we'll say 10 units or 10 parts. 10 parts is equal to ₹1,000 of profit. So 10 parts or 10 units, you can also say, is equal to ₹1,000. 1 part is equal to 1,000 upon 10 will be equal to ₹100. And then we'll say A will get 3 parts and B will get 7 parts. So A will get 3 parts, that is 3 into 100, which is equal to ₹300. And B should get 7 parts, which is 7 into 100, which is equal to ₹700. So we have distributed this amount, or we have divided this amount into a given ratio. We are not divided by half. We are saying it has been divided into ratio 3:7. Check that these two values, if added together, will give you 1,000. And if you check the ratio of this, it is 300 upon 700. 100 will get divided, it will get 3:7. But the same can be solved. This method is called as unitary method. What how do we do? We find the value of 1 unit, which is 1 part. So there are total 3 plus 7, that is 10 parts. So we will find 10 parts is equal to ₹1,000. 1 part is equal to divide 1,000 upon 10 is ₹100. 1 part is 100. A got 3 parts and B gets 7 parts. So just multiply and you get the values. Second method is the method that we call is ratio method. We must know both the methods because it is also possible that sometimes the questions are asked that using unitary method solve. So if you solve a ratio method, you will not get any mark for this. So we have to be in a position to handle the given question with any method. If there is nothing mentioned, you can choose your method. There is no problem. So how we find out the ratio? We first say that A:B is equal to 3:7. Then we add these and we first say total number of parts or total parts is equal to 3 plus 7. Up to this point, both the methods are same. Total units, so here we can write total parts, because this is the word that is used in total parts is equal to 3 plus 7 equal to 10. Then we say A's share of profit is equal to the total profit 1000 rupees into A's ratio here 3 divided by total. We are not writing 3 upon 7 here, we are writing 3 upon 10. Why? Because 3 parts out of total 10 parts. Because the profit will be divided into some parts, like 10 parts, out of which 3 will go to A and 7 will go to B. But how many total parts are there? 10 parts are there. So out of 10 parts, 3 are going to A. So we are writing 3 by 10. Out of 10 parts, 7 will go to B. So we will write B's share 1000 into 7 upon 10. This will be equal to 300 and this will be equal to 700. And by this we get the answers. Both the methods are very simple. Both the methods have a very little bit of difference. Here you divide first and then you multiply by 3. Here it is divided, you divide by 10 and then here you multiply by 3, you multiply by 7. Here you are directly multiplying by 3 by 10 and 7 by 10. But that's not the point. Here we are trying to find out, we are trying to say that there are 10 parts and out of 10 parts, each part's value we are first calculating. So because we are calculating the value of one part, the meaning of one is also taken as unit. So we are trying to find out the unit part or the units value. So that's why this is called a unit method. Here we are trying to convert this into ratio, and the ratio is the fraction of what will go to A out of total number of parts. How many parts will go to A? 3. Out of how many? Total is 10. So 3 by 10. How many parts will go to B? 7. Out of how many? 10. So it is 7 by 10. And by this we get the answers. Both the methods are easy, but it is important that we have the practice and have the ability of solving using both the methods any day, because which method will be asked in the examination if you don't know. If nothing is mentioned, solve by any method you like. But if it is mentioned that using unit method, you have to solve like that. If it is mentioned that using ratios method, you have to solve like this. There is no exception to this. Now what we'll do is we'll check some examples here and then we'll see the exercises. The first one is again only the illustrative example. Share $24 between Jess and Annie in the ratio 3:5. So Jess will get 3 parts, Annie will get 5 parts from 28. Now we'll first find out how many total parts are there. 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. 24 will be divided into 8 parts. So 1 part will be equal to 24 upon 8 is 3. That is 1 unit's value is 3. Now 3 parts will go to Jess. So 3 into 3, 9, and 5 into 3 is 15 is what will go to Annie. But by the other method, we will first add these two. 3 plus 5 is 8, and then we will say 3 out of 8 parts are going to go to Jess. So 3 by 8. So 3 by 8 into this total value 24. 5 by 8 into this total value 24. And you get answers 9 and 15 again. This is the logic behind this method. Let's see some problems in the exercise and let's see if we get them right. Yeah, divide 200 in the ratio 1:4. Divide 1500 in the ratio 4:1. Divide 50 in the ratio 3:1. This is all very easy. I'll solve this last one h because there are 3 ratios here. There are 3 numbers in the ratio. So we'll just see and we'll try to solve that problem. The problem h stands for 2300. We have to divide 2300 in the ratio 1:2:7. So we get 2300 divide in the ratio 1:2:7. So we can do it by both the methods. So we say that total number of parts is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 7, that is equal to 10. So the value of one part is equal to 2300 upon 10, which is equal to 230. Then we say that the first part will be equal to 1 into 230, that is equal to 230. Second one will be 2 into 230, that is equal to 460. And the third one will be equal to 7 into 230, which will be equal to, I think it will be 1610. 7 is 0, 21, 1610. So if you add them, this is 230, this is 460, and this is 1610. If you add them together, you get 2300, and if you find the ratio of them, you get 1:2:7. We divide it. We can do it by ratio method. Here total number of parts will be equal to 1 plus 2 plus 7, that is equal to 10. So the first one is equal to 1 part out of 10 parts in total of 2300. Which is equal to 230. Second will be 2 parts out of 10 into 2300, which is equal to 460. And the third will be 7 parts out of 10 into 2300, which is equal to 1610. And that is how we get the answers. Fruit concentrate is mixed with water in the ratio 1:3 to make a fruit drink. How much concentrate would you need to make 12 liters or 1.2 liters of fruit drink? Now if you check this carefully, this is saying that the fruit concentrate, I'll solve here. The fruit concentrate is mixed with water in the ratio 1:3. So total parts is equal to 1 plus 3, which is equal to 4 parts. This addition of 1 and 3. And then, how much concentrate would you need to make 1.2 liters of fruit drink? That means the total fruit drink is 4 parts is equal to 1.2 liters. So we divide and we get 1 part is equal to 1.2 upon 4, that is equal to 0.3 liter. So 1 part is equal to 0.3 liter. Now the question is, how much of concentrate would you need? Concentrate is 1 part and 3 parts is water. So concentrate, fruit concentrate would be equal to 1 into 0.3, which is equal to 0.3 liter. And the water, which is not asked, but it might be asked in this exam. So 3 parts, which is equal to 3 into 0.3, which is equal to 0.9 liter. So this is how we can get this answer as well. Again, this can be solved by the ratio method as well. How will we get that answer? Solve it here using the ratio method. Total number of parts is 4. So we have fruit concentrate is equal to 1 part out of 4. So 1 upon 4 into total is 1.2. So this is equal to 0.3 liter. And water required will be equal to 3 parts out of 4 into total is 1.2. So which is equal to 0.9. This is how we can get the answer for this question. Now what I expect is you solve these problems, entire exercise 21.3, and check if you have any doubts. If there is no doubt, that will be great. If you have any doubt, you can always message me, and I'll get the doubts. I'll make sure that the doubts are clarified. Fine. Let's see if you're done with this. Let's see. There will be questions. That's all for you to solve. Now, yeah, there is a reflection and that's the end of it. So this topic ends here. The other topic that we will solve is something that we'll do in the next video.